Okay, so once you're ready, we are going to start lying down today, so you can just take your time, make your way onto your mats. And just any comfortable lying position will do. So once you get there, just taking a few moments, just get yourself comfortable. And then just starting to draw your intention inwards. So start to notice your breath. Just as it moves in and out through your nose. So allowing the breath just to be smooth and thorough. As your breath starts to smooth out, noticing how your body is this morning. Maybe noticing any areas of tightness or tension. Try and release that. Allow it just to relax a little bit more. And then as your body starts to relax, just take a moment just to notice how you are. Any thoughts that you might be having, just allow them to move in and out through your mind. So in today's class, we're going to do a practice in surrender. So in yoga, surrender means that we let go, if you like, of really striving to get anywhere in particular. So with our postures, not trying to kind of force ourselves into them. Also to let go of really concerns about how we're doing. So trying to be just open to the experience rather than trying to control how the class will go or really how you feel during the class. And it's not easy to do, so just to try and do what you can. And here, just try to surrender towards the mat. So we will start to move a little bit. So you can maybe just start moving your fingers and your toes. We're going to stay in this lying down position and we're going to just stretch the body out a little bit just so that we can then surrender a little bit more. So if you bend your knees, have your feet flat on the floor, and then we'll draw your right knee towards your chest, maybe taking your hands on your knee or your shin, and then start to lengthen your left leg away. So you could just have it on the ground if you like. If you like a little bit more sensation, you can always stretch your foot and your leg out so that your left leg lifts off the ground, but really just leaving it up to you. Try and relax the shoulders down. Relax the head and the neck. Maybe very gently draw the right knee in a little bit more just to stretch through your hip and your lower back. And from there, we're going to bring that stretch more into the back of your thigh. So you can either keep your left leg long or you could bend your left leg and have the foot on the ground. And then take your hands behind the back of your right thigh and then start to slowly move the leg up. So just coming into a hamstring stretch. So again, in a surrender practice, we wouldn't move too quickly, but just taking your time, easing into it so that the muscles relax and stretch out a bit more. And use your breath, so the breath will help just by keeping that long inhale and exhale through your nose. And if you like, you can move your hands a little bit further up the leg, but again, without force and without really having any attachment to moving your hands up your leg. Okay, when you're ready, we'll take one more deep inhale here. And then we're going to release the right leg, but you're going to flex your right foot and just place that heel or the ankle just onto your left leg. Now we're going to do a little bit of core work here, so just see how you got on with it. You could either just stay where you are and just stretch your hip out, or maybe interlock your fingers behind the back of your head.
So on the inhale here, we're going to start to lift your left foot off the ground. But at the same time, we're going to lift the upper body. So you're kind of squeezing everything together. And then on the exhale, just release back down. Do that again. So in your own time, inhale, draw the knee in, lift through the upper body, give it a little squeeze. And then slowly lower down. So just working nice and slowly. Just building up a little bit of heat in the center of your body. And we'll do that one more time. So as you release down, we'll just release the hands and release the foot again. And you can draw both knees in towards your chest. So we'll come in for the other side. Keep your left knee in this time, hands on the knee or the shin, and then extend your right leg along the ground. Again, keep it on the ground or maybe extend and stretch it away a little bit more. Maybe start to draw the left knee in a little bit closer towards your upper body. For the hamstring stretch, you can keep your right leg long if that suits you, or bend your right leg so you have your foot on the ground. Hands behind the back of the left thigh and slowly start to move the leg up. So take your time, easing yourself into it, so allowing the muscles just to become accustomed to that new stretched position. And then if you want to, you could move your hands a little bit further up the leg, just see how that goes. So keep quite relaxed through the shoulders and through the head and neck. Okay, when you're ready, slowly release that leg down. So again, flex your foot, placing that ankle onto the opposite thigh. And then from there, maybe interlock your fingers behind the back of your head. As you inhale, lift your right foot off the ground, draw the knee in and lift the upper body. So really squeezing in. And then slowly and carefully releasing back down. So do that again, just at your own time. So although we see surrender as kind of giving up control, for a lot of our postures, we need control. So we need our core to hold us in position and to protect our low back. We'll do this one more time. So we need to keep the core strong so we can do that. And then release down. So when you get there, release your legs, draw your knees in. You can take a little movement side to side. So from here, we're going to come up to sitting. So you can either roll over onto your side or maybe take your hands behind the back of your thighs and just roll back and forwards a couple of times. And then we'll make our way up to a sitting position. So when you come up, we are going to sit in Shavasana, so our easy pose. If you want to, you could sit on a block for the next little bit. We're going to sit as upright as you can, so creating some space in your upper body for your breath. And then relax your shoulders. And we're going to do a little side stretch first. So we're going to take your right hand just onto your left knee. And you're using this right hand as a little bit of traction. So you want a grip rather than it just laying there. And then we're going to use your left hand. We're going to reach it up. And then we're going to reach over towards the right side. So it's kind of one of these push-pull moves. So you're kind of pulling on the left leg and you're reaching up and over through your left arm. And really stretch through the arm as well. So it's not kind of here, but it's stretching all the way through the arm and through the side of the body. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. So with your left hand, we're going to take that behind you. So we're coming into a twist. So you come up onto your fingertips of your left hand, still using this right hand to draw yourself around a little bit more. And then slowly come back towards the center. So we'll change sides when you're ready. So left hand onto the right knee. So using that with a good grip and then lift up and over. So we're pulling with the left hand and we're reaching through your right hand. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. And then releasing that right hand, take it behind you. So up onto the fingertips. Start to draw yourself around. Well done. Slowly back towards the center. So we're going to do a little move. It's called a deer pose. So if you are facing the short edge of your mat, then you're just going to bring your right leg in front of you. We're going to try and align that. So it's a little bit like pigeon, but it's a little bit less intense, shall we say, than pigeon. So we're going to have your right leg with the knee in line with your ankle. And it's kind of, if you've got an edge of your mat, just align it towards the edge, whether it's the top edge or the side, doesn't really matter. And then we're going to use the left leg and we're going to align that to the other edge of your mat. So you'll have one edge and one edge, and you've got both legs aligned. The feet, it's not really close to the knee here. So it's not like our mermaid stretch. So you want kind of quite a big space because we're opening up through the hips. So you want to try and push down through your right knee and draw back a little bit through your left hip. And then we're going to lean back a little bit on the diagonal. So you're going to take your hands behind you. And then we're just going to lean back, not too much. So it's not important what the upper body does. But as you take your weight back, try and press open through your legs. So pushing down through that right knee and keeping your left knee on the ground as well. Opening up a little bit through your left hip. And you can keep your feet flexed or you can keep them soft. It's really up to you. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. Now slowly rise back up again. Now from there, you're going to come round towards the front leg. So you might just take your hands just either side there and just hold there. And you might be able to fold forwards. So just take your time, ease yourself into it. Maybe you can come onto your forearms. Maybe you can release all the way down towards the ground, but just see how it feels. So the idea of surrender is that we don't force to get somewhere, but we just move to the point where it feels right. And then just try and relax there. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. And then we'll start to move back up. So just use your hands, press yourself up. If you're up already, then you're fine. And then we're going to swing your left leg round towards the front. So as you come to the front, we're going to bring the soles of your feet together. So it's a little bit like Baddha, but not the tight version. So you're not bringing your heels really close towards your groin, but rather we're keeping it quite spacious. So the feet are quite far away. Now option-wise, you can just stay there. And you can flex your feet if you like, and maybe fold towards your legs. That feels right. If you wanted to, you could also take your hands, palm up, and slide them underneath your legs. Keep them palm up and just rest your arms or your hands on the ground, and then just fold into there. So that gesture of the palm facing up towards the ceiling is a gesture of acceptance and surrender. So we're just using that there, but try and relax as much as you can into it. And adjust it if you need to. And again, if you want to flex your feet, maybe that gives you a little bit more feeling of stretch through your hips. If you want to relax your feet and take hold of them, then do that. Just work where it feels right. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. Slowly start to make your way up. So use your hands, maybe turn them palm down, start to press yourself back up again. Okay, we'll come in and we'll do the other side on that deer pose. So with the left leg this time, bring it towards the front. So if you're aligning it with your mat, no matter which side, but just align it so it's kind of straightish through your knee towards your ankle. You want to try and press that knee down. So using the other edge of your mat, so you've got your leg in a straight line. Again, knee and ankle is nice and straight. And then we're going to come behind us again. So we're going to use the hands behind, kind of at a bit of an angle, and then lean back a little bit. And as you lean back, start pressing gently down through your left knee and start to pull back a little bit through your right hip. From there, start to move back up again. So again, as you come up, we're going to turn towards the front leg, and you might just stay with your hands up on your fingertips. Maybe you can fold forwards, release down onto your forearms, or relax all the way down towards the ground. Just whatever feels right. Start to feel that stretch through your left hip this time. And again, where you feel it is really up to you. So when I say you feel it in your left hip, it's just a suggestion. You might not, you might feel it somewhere else. Okay, when you're ready, we'll slowly come back up to use your hands, rise back up again, and we'll bring the legs round towards the front once more. And this time we're going to come up to kind of an upward facing kind of plank. Again, you just do what feels right to you. I'll turn side on so you can see it. But we're going to turn the palms towards, or the fingers towards your hips. And then separate your feet hip distance. And you don't have to lift up. If you want to, you can just simply stay there. You can even do a little tricep tip. But if you can, as you breathe in, we're going to lift your hips up and then just push the hips up a little bit more. And if you want to relax your head back, you can, but I prefer to have my head lifted. It's really up to you. Okay, just one more breath. And then slowly release all the way back down. Okay, from there, you can just cross your legs. So we're going to come to all fours now. So you can move to that all fours position however you like. If you like to, you can just come over the top of your feet. Again, it doesn't suit everyone, and you just move in your own way towards it. So when you come in, we're going to spread the hands under your shoulders and the knees directly underneath your hips. We'll take a cat-cow here. So on the inhale, we'll drop the belly, start to pull forwards through your chest. And then on the exhale, just draw the belly in and round through the upper back and shoulders. We'll do that again. So again, just taking your own time. Start to align your breath and your movement. We'll do one more of these. And on your next inhale, we'll just move back into a more neutral position. So back in the center, we'll draw the belly in. And then as you inhale, you can extend your right leg behind you. So you can either keep it on the ground or you can just extend it so it's kind of level with your hip, toes pointing down. And draw the belly up and in, keep your weight pretty balanced. And then if you want to add the opposite arm, just stretch it away from you. So reaching through your fingertips. Well done. We'll take one more deep inhale. Release the hand and the knee back down to the ground. So we'll change sides when you're ready. Inhale, just extend and lengthen through your left leg. Again, make sure your hips are nice and even. And then maybe if you want to stretch through your opposite hand, just see how it goes. And surrendering is not a sign of weakness, it's really a sign of strength. So we surrender, it's not like giving up. It's more like just being open to whatever comes up. Okay, we'll release the hand and the knee back down. As you inhale this time, we're going to move forward slightly, so just over your wrists a little bit, just to stretch the wrists. And then on the exhale, we'll start to press the hips back, so just towards your heels a little bit. So do that again, start to move in your own time again. So inhale to move forwards. You can move further forwards if you like. And on the exhale, take it back. Okay, keep moving through that. So again, work at your own pace. And we'll do that one more time. This time, as you move back in towards the center, we're going to come into our downward facing dog. But again, if child's pose suits you, then move to that instead. So when you're ready, we'll tuck the toes under and we'll start to push up through your hips. So when you come up, make any adjustments that you need to, maybe start to pedal your feet out a little bit. So spread your hands, spread your toes. And then maybe you find a position that you can just surrender in. And surrendering in the sense that you're still controlling everything. So you're still lifting through your belly to keep your low back safe. You're still pushing up and out of your shoulders. You're still spreading the shoulders. So it's not a soft kind of giving up. It's quite strong. Okay, on your next inhale, we'll lift the heels and we're going to make our way up towards the top of your mat. So you can walk up or step up. It's up to you. But when you get there, fold towards your legs again. And again, in this position, which ultimately seems like surrender, we're still controlling and lifting through your belly and making sure you're safe in this posture. On your next inhale, we'll lengthen forward. So coming up, Ardha Uttanasana halfway. And on the exhale, we'll just fold back in towards your legs. As you inhale this time, you're going to bend your knees. So we're going to come into chair. So sink your hips back. Maybe start to reach the arms up, but just see how that goes. And then when you're ready, we'll press all the way up to stand. So bring your palms together. Good. And you can keep your feet apart. Maybe close your eyes for a moment. Just see how you feel now you've come up to standing. When you're ready, we'll release the hands and open the eyes. So you can keep your feet apart if you'd like, or walk them in a little. As you inhale here, we're going to come back into that chair. So we're going to sit back into it, reaching with your arms if you'd like. On the exhale, we'll fold towards the legs. As you inhale, lengthening forward, so coming up halfway. And on the exhale, just folding back in. As you inhale, bend your knees, come to chair. And on the exhale, press to stand. Okay, we'll do that again. So inhale, bending in the knees, reaching through your arms. Exhale, fold towards your legs, maybe keeping the knees really bent here as you do that. Inhale, lengthen, so maybe move your hands up your legs if that feels better. On the exhale, just folding back in. As you inhale, bend your knees, reach the arms. And on the exhale, press to stand. Okay, we'll do that once more. So inhale, bending in the knees, reaching through the arms. Exhale to fold. Lengthen on the inhale. Fold back in on the exhale. As you inhale, bend your knees. And on the exhale, press to stand. So I'm going to change it a little bit. We're going to add on a little. So when you're ready, come back into that chair on the inhale. Fold forwards on the exhale. Lengthen on the inhale. And on the exhale, you're going to step back with your right leg. So if you just step back into a lunge position, we're going to lower your right knee towards the ground as you get there. And maybe slide your right leg back a little bit, just see how that goes. Maybe come up onto your fingertips and pull the chest forwards. So again, even when we're here, we're still working through it. So we want the hips to surrender a little bit, so to drop down, but the chest lifts, the belly pulls in. And then today we're going to lift the upper body. So as you inhale, just start to rise up a little bit. And then if you'd like, you're going to place your left hand just onto your left knee. And then if you want to, you can reach up with your right hand. So the hips still drop down, but we're lifting and stretching up through that right hand. If you want to, you could take a little reach over towards the left side. So just stretching with that right arm, take it over a little bit. Keep drawing your left knee and your left hip in them. Take one more deep inhale. And then release that right hand all the way to the ground. We're going to come in for a twist. So your left hand could just stay on that left knee and just use that just to draw your chest round a little bit. Or maybe reach up through your left hand. But just see how that feels. If you're doing that, try and stack shoulder over shoulder. Keep drawing that left knee and left hip in. Okay, very nice. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. And then we'll release both hands back down towards the ground. When you get there, we'll tuck the toes and lift through your back knee. And then we're going to step back to downward facing dog. So just take your time, step it back. And again, you could definitely move to child's pose instead if you wanted to. Spread your hands. Make any little movements. Take one more deep inhale. And then lifting your heels, will look forwards and make your way back up towards the top of your mat. So just take your time. Fold forwards when you get there. As you inhale, lengthen forwards. On the exhale, just folding back in. On the inhale, bend your knees, reach through your arms. And on the exhale, press all the way up to stand. Okay, we'll do that on the other side. So again, coming back in to the top of your mat. As you inhale, bend the knees, reaching through your arms into that chair pose. Exhale to fold. Then keep the knees bent as you're coming down. Lengthen forwards on the inhale. And on the exhale, we'll step back with your left leg this time. So again, as soon as you step back, just lowering that back knee down, maybe moving your left leg back a little bit, keeping your knee over your ankle on that front leg. So the hips drop down, the belly goes and the chest lifts. You will start to lift up through the upper body. So draw the belly in a little bit more, rise up. And then from here, taking your right hand onto your right knee, and then maybe reach up through your left fingertips. Again, you could just stay here, or maybe take that little side bend, so reaching over towards the right side. Good, to keep that right knee pulling in, the right hip, inner thighs draw together. Okay, when you're ready, releasing that left hand all the way down towards the ground. You can keep your right hand where it is, so just start to draw the chest round a little bit towards the right, or maybe reach up through your right hand, opening up through your chest a little bit more. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. Release the hands back down towards the ground. Again, we'll tuck the toes under and lift through your back knee. And we'll make our way back, downward facing dog. Again, when you get there, you might just hold still, just surrendering into the posture, so spreading your hands, lifting through your hips, drawing the belly in. We'll take one more deep inhale. When you're ready, lift your heels, looking forwards, make your way up towards the top. So again, maybe take that little fold towards your legs first. Inhale, lengthen forwards. Exhale to fold. As you inhale, bend your knees, come back into that chair. And on the exhale, press to stand. Just bring your hands towards your chest for a moment and just see how you feel now you've come up to standing. Okay, we're going to come in and do some standing postures now. So we'll come back up towards the top of your mat. So just take your time, do what feels right to you. Hopefully you feel nice and warm. We'll do that little sun salutation to come into it. So just taking your time. So when you're ready, either keep your feet together or separate them a little bit more. You all right, Dorothy? Got it sorted? Good, perfect. Okay, when you're ready, on an inhale, we'll bend the knees, reaching through your arms, coming into that chair. On the exhale, just folding towards your legs. As you inhale here, lengthen forward to stretch your spine. And on the exhale, we'll take the hands down and we're going to step back with your right leg to warrior one. So as you step back, we're going to place the heel down, bend your front leg, and then maybe start to rise up. And if you want to, you can reach the arms up as well when you get there, but just see how that feels. So knee over the ankle on the front leg, bending deeply into it, and the shoulders and the hips round towards the front. So you feel quite a strong stretch through the calf on that leg, right leg even. Try and relax the shoulders. So surrender means that we find some softness in amongst the strength. So it's not giving everything up and we're just kind of a blob of jelly. We're still working really strongly through it. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to release the hands We're going to come in for humble warrior. So you're going to interlink your fingers behind your back. So I thought this was quite a surrendering type of pose. So we'll draw the shoulders back, lift your belly and your chest, and then start to move forward, but just to where it feels right. So if it just feels right a little bit forward, then do that. Maybe you can take your belly or your chest down towards that leg, or maybe you can drop your left shoulder onto that leg and then drop the head, and the arms can lift up. Again, just see how that feels. Does it feel right to you? Then don't. Try and relax the head. So surrender the head and the neck. Very nice. So keep drawing in through your right hip and through your left hip. So we'll start to come up. So draw your belly in. Rise back up again. When you come up, we'll release the hands and reach up for one breath, just to warrior one. And then we're going to open up to warrior two. So we'll spiral round, reaching through your fingertips. Maybe you move your back foot a little bit. Just see how it feels. And then start to sink into it a little bit. So stretching through the hips. So as we move in, there's going to be a position that's not enough and one that's a little bit too much. So we just need to find that. And then once you find that, hopefully you can surrender there and just enjoy the stretch. You will take one more deep inhale. Now from there, we're going to move into Trikonasana. So we're going to lengthen your front leg a little bit. And again, if you ordinarily hop your back foot in, if you want a shorter stance, then do that. If you're quite happy where your feet are, we'll lengthen forwards over that leg, releasing the hand down, and then reaching straight up with your other hand. So take it to where it feels right to you. So not necessarily where you always go to, but where it actually feels like the right place. So it's not too far down your leg and it's not too far up. So if you're not getting any sensation, then you need to maybe think about moving a little bit deeper into it. If you're getting too much sensation, then you need to back out. And the top hand, if it doesn't feel right, be up, bend your elbow, take it behind your back, and open up through your shoulder a bit more. But just see what feels right. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale here. When you're ready, we'll rise back up. So draw your belly in, lift back up. And when you get there, we're just going to release the hands down. And we're going to come in for pyramid. So your back foot probably does have to step in a little bit this time. Keep both legs straight and then try and rotate through the toes of your back leg so that your shoulders and hips move towards the front edge of your mat. And then from there, we'll lift the belly and the chest again, and we'll start to move forward. So you might just move a little bit forward and just keep your hands on your hips. You might take your hands to your thighs. You could use blocks here as well. So if you've got blocks, then grab them and have one at either side of your front foot, and you can take the hands to the blocks, or maybe you can reach the floor. Just take it to where it feels right, so without it being too intense. And here we're trying to lengthen your spine. So if you feel that you're really rounding your back in order to get down, then maybe back off it a little bit and lengthen the spine a little bit more. Good. Here's the spine, Alana. Here's the spine even when you were further down. Yeah, you're fine. So it doesn't matter if you kind of drop the head. It's really, a lot of people will really round in order to get further down. So you want to lengthen and then come down. Okay, we'll rise back up again. So just take a little rise up and then rebend your front leg. And then maybe take your hands down towards the ground this time once that leg is there. And then we'll turn onto the toes of your back leg. So we're in this lunge position. Now from there, we can just step to the top of your mat. So we'll bend the back leg, step the back foot in, and then fold towards your legs. Okay, when you're ready, as you inhale, lengthen forwards. On the exhale, just folding back in. As you inhale, bend the knees, reach the arms, come into that chair. And on the exhale, press all the way to stand. Maybe close your eyes for a moment once you get there. So just noticing how that side of your body feels compared to the other side. Okay, when you're ready, we'll release the hands and open the eyes. So we'll come in, we'll try the same things on the other sides again. If you want to grab blocks for that folding forward pyramid, then please do. So feet together or a little bit apart. As you inhale, come back into that chair. So sink through your legs, reaching through your arms. On the exhale, just folding towards your legs, keeping the knees bent. On the inhale, lengthen, so stretch through your spine. And on the exhale, hands down, and we'll step back with the left leg. So into warrior one again, with the heel down, the toes facing forwards, rise up. So keeping that front leg bent, reach with your arms. So one other aspect of our surrender practice is that we pay particular attention to the transition. So how we move from one posture to the other is as important as the postures themselves. So just think about this time round how you move between them. Okay, when you're ready, we'll release the hands and we'll come into humble warrior. So as you interlink your fingers, maybe you change your grip a little bit. So one finger up, draw your shoulders back, lift your chest, start to move forward. So a little bit, maybe you take it down so your body touches that leg, maybe your shoulder touches it, and the head can release and the arms can reach. But without forcing anything, so allowing yourself to surrender, but still keeping these elements of control that we need to keep our bodies safe. When you're ready, we'll start to move back up. So draw your belly in, start to rise all the way back up. And when you come up, release your hands and reach it up to warrior one, just for one breath. On the exhale, we'll open up again to warrior two. So take your time positioning your feet. Watch how you move between the postures. Stretch through your fingers, draw your shoulders back. And feel what you're trying to do here is to increase the opening in your hips. So feel that that's what you're trying to do. So not that you're trying to get further forwards, but we're trying to keep the weight in the center to open the hips a little bit more. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. When you're ready, we are going to move into Trikonasana, so you might want to hop your back foot in. Otherwise, start to slowly straighten through your front leg. Push your hips back and lengthen forward over that leg. So again, take it down a little bit. You can always move further into it if you feel that you want to, or that you need to, not that you need to do anything. So try and lengthen through that bottom sideways. Maybe drop your top hand behind your back. Good, open up through your chest. Well done. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. We'll start to come up again. So pull your belly in, rising back up again. And when you come up, you can release your hands back down. So again, coming into the Parsvottanasana, so our pyramid pose, we'll step in with the back foot, turn the back toes, rotate the shoulders and the hips towards the front edge. You might need to widen your stance. So if you do, just walk your front foot out a little bit to the side. So start to lengthen forward. So again, with the chest lifted, the belly in, lengthen your spine. So maybe just stay here. Just work. You still get a really strong stretch through your legs and a really strong stretch through your upper body. If you feel you need to come down, then release it down a little bit more, but keep lengthening. And again, with the hands down, keep that length through your spine. And just watch for a moment your right hip. So it does, when you're trying to go further down, sometimes it pops out to the side a little bit. Keep drawing back in towards the middle. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. When you're ready, again, we'll start to come up a little bit. So you can just move up a little bit, maybe move your hands to your legs or your hip, and then re-bend the front leg. And then maybe you can take your hands back down towards the ground. As you do, turn on the toes of your back leg, maybe step that back foot a little bit further back. Okay, from there, we're going to step back this time just to our downward facing dog position. So just step it back. When you get there, maybe pedal out your feet a little bit. Lift up and out your shoulders, draw your belly in. Take one more deep inhale. And then we'll release the knees all the way down towards the ground. I'm going to move back to a child's pose when you get there, so you can just start to move your hips back. Maybe release the arms down, so maybe bend your elbows and just relax the head. And any version of child's pose that feels right to you, you can take it. So truly surrendering is really trying to let go of all attachment or control over how you think things should go. And in yoga, if we release these attachments, if we release that sense of controlling everything, then we can open ourselves up to having more space, which can perhaps then lead to us having more peace. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to come up just a little bit. We're going to come up and do Shavasana, or camel pose. Again, if you have blocks and you'd like to use them, you could grab them and have them either side of your feet. We are going to come up a little bit, so you're coming up onto a high kneeling position with your knees about hip distance apart. And do be careful with this one, so it's not worth doing anything to your back. So you just need to really watch it and just work with the option that suits you. And that is true surrender when we listen to our bodies. So you can either have your feet flat, you can tuck your toes under. So option one, you're just going to take your hands either to your low back or onto your hips here. And then we just draw the shoulders back. And that's it. So it's just a stretch across and an openness across the shoulders and through your chest. And if that is enough for you, you're just going to stay here. If you want to move back a little bit, then just lean back without taking any strain or feeling any strain. Just move into your own way. If you want to go back a bit further, you can start to move your hands maybe down the back of your thighs. Maybe you take your hands onto your blocks or maybe onto your heels and release back there. Again, only if it is the right thing for you to do. And again, watching the transition, so how you come out of it, start to move slowly back up. So take your time, move out of it in your own way. Okay, release your feet if you've got them, and then sit back, bottom back onto your heels. And down. Okay, from there, we're going to bring your legs round towards the front. So you can just sit with your legs forwards. And then we're slowly going to lower ourselves down onto the mat. So you're just going to take your time. So again, you could use your hands here. You can roll back if you want to. Whatever way you want to come down onto your mat, then take it there. When you do come onto your mat, you're going to bend your knees. So you're going to have your feet flat on the floor, and the feet are going to be hip distance apart. Now with the arms, you can either keep them where they are, you can stretch them out to the side, or you can stretch them out to the side and then bend your elbows. So we come into this kind of L shape or goalpost shape that opens up the chest a little bit more. If that doesn't feel comfortable to you or to your back, then just have your arms out to any distance really. So from there, we're going to do a little twist. So you're going to lift your right foot up off the ground, and you're going to cross really quite high over the left thigh. So it's kind of a bit of a lead across with the legs. And then you're going to let both of your legs just drop over to the left side, keeping them nice and relaxed, pressing down through your right shoulder. So the key to this pose is to totally relax your legs and your feet. So without holding tension there, you should feel that in your hip. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to slowly come back in towards the center. And from there, you're going to flex your right foot, and then you're going to place it on your left thigh. So you're coming in for a reclined pigeon. So from here, you could just stay here, and we'll just use the right hand. It's very gently press that right knee away a little bit more. Keep both feet a little bit flexed here. And then you could stay here, or maybe you release that and then lift your left foot off the ground. If that's enough, you just stay with that. Or you can take your hands behind the back of that left thigh and draw the left knee in a little bit more. Still flexing both feet a little bit. And if you did want a little bit more here, you could start to lift and lengthen through your left leg so it goes up. And maybe take your hands behind the back of that calf, or maybe you can grab your big toe. Again, just see how it feels. If it doesn't feel right to you and you're stressing about it, then don't worry. So it's just our normal reclined pigeon with the left leg up. Maybe moving the hands up the calf, maybe grabbing hold of that left big toe. But the upper body is relaxed, the head and the neck is soft. Well done. Now from there, slowly release your legs, but keep them crossed. So you're going to release them down, bending it back into that left leg. Place your left foot on the ground. Now from there, you're going to go back over to the left side with the idea of pressing down through your right foot. So you take it over and the right foot just presses down towards the ground. And that brings the stretch a little bit more into the lower back and the hip. If that feels too much for you, uncross it. But if you wanted a little bit more, you could walk your right foot up a little bit so it moves up that left thigh even more. Again, just see how it goes. Ease it up without forcing it and keep pressing down through your right foot. Maybe spread your arms back out again, or maybe come back into these goalpost arms if it feels appropriate to you. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. We'll start to move back in towards the middle, so you can bring yourself back in and cross your legs, and then you can just draw your knees in and maybe take a little movement from side to side, whatever feels right. So we'll come back in, we'll try these moves on the other side. So if you have your feet on the ground again, spread your arms or come back in to these goalpost arms. From there, we're going to lift up through your left leg and take that big high cross over the right thigh. So from there, we'll let both legs just drop over to the right side. Again, you press down a little bit more through your left shoulder. Relaxing your feet, relaxing your legs. Well done. When you're ready, come back towards the middle. Again, you can release your arms if you want. We'll keep that right foot on the ground, flex your left foot and place it on top of your thigh. So coming in for this reclined pigeon as well. So we'll use the left hand just to very gently press that left knee away. Keep your left foot flexed and you should get a little bit more opening in that left hip. So from there, release your left hand and start to pick your right foot off the ground. Again, stay here or take your hands by the back of your right thigh. Maybe start to lift and lengthen through your right leg. So take it up towards the ceiling. And if you want to move your hands at the back of your calf or take hold of your big toe, then do that. But not at the expense of creating tension in your upper body. So make sure your upper body can stay relaxed onto the ground as you do that. Both feet a little bit flexed. Well done. Okay, slowly releasing that, but again, keep your legs as they are, just bending back down through that right leg, and then release your right foot to the ground. As you do that, you're keeping your left foot flexing on the thigh, and we drop the legs over towards that right side and try and press your left foot down, so the whole of the left foot presses down. And then if you want a little bit more, maybe stretch your arms out, come back into these goalpost arms, both shoulders down, or maybe walk that left foot a little bit higher up that right thigh. Just ease into it. Well done. When you're ready, slowly release. So come back towards the center. Release your legs, draw your knees in. Maybe take a little roll side to side. Any little movements that you want to make now. So from here, we are going to come into Shavasana. We're going to do a little surrender meditation today, which is a really nice one. So if you want to grab some socks and jumpers or anything, keep yourself warm. So coming back into Shavasana when you're ready, take your time. And taking a moment or two just to get yourself comfortable. Maybe start to begin to notice your breath again. So just allowing it just to flow in and out through your nose without controlling it, but simply allowing it to be. And start to think about surrender. So the only thing that you have to do is to let go. Practice a complete surrender meditation. Surrender all effort. Surrender all sweating and striving. Surrender all sense of doing anything at all right now. There's nothing that you need to do. Let go of all fears. Let go of all concerns. Let go of all your responsibilities. Let go of all your needs. Let go of everything that's so important. Let go of anything you're obsessing about. Let go of your story. Let go of your ideas about who you are. Let go of trying to get anything out of this meditation. Especially let go of the sense that there's anything wrong with you, or that meditation is going to fix you in some way. Let go of the content of any sensory experience. That is, whatever you're thinking or feeling is fine. Don't try to change it in any way. The content or meaning is irrelevant. Let go of that. Completely and utterly surrender yourself without holding anything back. There is no part of yourself that is outside of this surrender, somehow watching it, controlling it, or seeing how it's going. Surrender your feelings. Surrender keeping yourself together. Surrender your mind. Let go of your soul. Let go until there's nothing left.
Last of all, let go of letting go. When you're ready, we'll take a deep inhale through your nose. And then we'll just sigh it out your mouth. You can do that again, just take your time. A big inhale. And then just let it all go. And then we'll start to move a little bit, so through your fingers and your toes. Maybe taking your arms overhead and just stretching all the way down to your feet. When you're ready, if you want to bring your arms back over, you could start to bend your knees. Keep your feet on the ground or knees to your chest and just move a little bit. And then if you want to, you can roll over onto your side. And then we'll just start to make our way up. So just take your time. So just find a comfortable seat when you're ready. Bring the palms together in front of your heart. Just leaving a little gap just to signify an openness in your heart. Thank you so much for coming along and practicing with me this morning. I hope you enjoyed the surrender practice that we did. Namaste. Thank you very much, everyone. Well done. I'll stop this recording and then you can unmute yourself.